time in this 1995 season. There's an echo in here, but it was so impressive that we want the echo chamber to show you what happened as they played the Washington Redskins at RFK. First quarter, watch what happens is Troy Aikman. It's a grass, non-touched injury. Strained right calf. Aikman says he'll be out 2 to 3 weeks. The Redskins lead at 13-10 behind Gus Frerotte. Swings it to Terry Allen. 100-yard day. Look at him. Boom! Off one. Boom! On the other. He might have just stepped out, but the nice dive over the pylon is the touchdown. 20-10 Skins. They lead 27-23 late in the fourth quarter. Wade Wilson bombed at Kevin Williams, but Tom Cotta is there to intercept it for the Skins. The upset. The Redskins beat their arch rival Cowboys 27-23. We told you Aikman says he's out 2 to 3 weeks, which would mean the Packer game at San Diego. Then the Cowboys have an off week. So really, if he's right with his 3 weeks, it would just be 2 games. Tom Jackson, you were at Dallas this week, and you had a feeling that the players were a little bit nervous about playing the Redskins because of what they knew.
Well, Dallas's concern was that Norv Turner runs their offense, and if he executed that offense, they knew it would work. What they got is a great game from Terry Allen, and then defensively, they control Michael Irvin, force Kevin Williams to be the go-to guy. You use that formula, you get a win.
Well, we are ready for a choke-down version of prime time. We got all sorts of excitement out at the Big A, and it was a day when we saw Dallas lose. It was a day when we saw the Rams lose. Only Miami is left with the undefeated. Don Shula beat his son Dave. Those are some interesting highlights, and the Jaguars are just seconds away from their first win in franchise history. Back to Dwayne and Joe in Anaheim. Thank you. We certainly don't lie here. See, we come back with more highlights. And this time, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How many times have they been favored on the road since '81? Twice. Second time today against expansion Carolina, where Kerry Collins made his first start after the bye week. Derek Moore at the 1-foot line. No, but they can't get in. It's worse. It's a fumble. Oh, it's Panapase. Falls out of for Tampa Bay. Moore redeems himself, though. Boy, when they're not near the goal line, Carolina is dangerous. Let him go. He can't go all the way. 100-yard day for Derek Moore at 53 yards. We're tied at 7 in Death Valley. Bucs lead 10-7. You know their best passer was today? Wasn't Trent Dilfer. Reggie Roby. His first career pass sends it to John Shake Your Booty, who does just that. 48 yards, sets up a field goal. 13-7 Bucs at the half. Then the number 1 pick, Kerry Collins, to the former Bill Pete Metzelaars. 13-13 as Casey missed the extra point. Casey Weldon replaced an injured Trent Dilfer, who had a concussion. Weldon played pretty well. 3rd and 16. Late in the 30 hits Jackie Harris, 32 yards. That sets up Weldon over the top. 20-13. Dilfer cheers on his quarterback mate. The Bucs lead it. And they go on to beat the Panthers 20-13, even though they had a couple of opportunities there. So the Panthers close to winning for the first time, but the Buccaneers are second in the Norris by the count of 3, by a 3-2 record. The rest of the Norris division was off this week. More prime time coming up later, but now let's go back to Anaheim and Dwayne and Joe, guys. I would say a rather intriguing afternoon here on ESPN. Would you not? Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, along with Tom Jackson and Bill Judge Lance Pidto for this shortened edition of ESPN's NFL Primetime. Stay with us. Lots to show you. Why don't we start with a father-son relationship? Father Don had won 341 games, regular and postseason, going into Miami's game at Cincinnati. Son David had won 13. A family affair at Riverfront in Cincinnati, and here we go. Dave Shula facing his dad, the more famous coach in the family. Dolphins lead at 3-0 in the second quarter, and Jeff Blake wants to fake play action to Carl Slim Pickens. 10 straight games, Pickens has caught a touchdown pass, Tom.
Yeah, and as we watch the inside of that Dolphin defense, triple spot shadowed right there. Look at the effect that the fake had on him. They step up. Carl Pickens gets to the back of the end zone. Easy catch.
Now the clock winding down. Dan Marino to Eric Green, a big factor today. Had 7 catches for 91. 10-7 Dolphins. They lead at 13-10 at the half. Late in the third quarter, same score. Here comes Cincinnati. And does Jeff Blake throw the highest footballs? It's right there to Carl Pickens. A touchdown, and Cincinnati leads it 17-16 after 3. Stoyanovich had 4 field goals. It's 19-17 Dolphins. Blake fakes the sneak. It's the swing lateral to Harold Green for 5 yards. 2 plays later, Blake to the former Charger. Eric sleeping with the enemy. Puts a nice move on and a first down of 15 yards. 5 plays later, the Dolphin 10. Blake to Pickens. We told you he trails only Rice with 13. Buddy Dial and Crazy Leg Hurst with 11. Don Shula not impressed with that record because the Bengals lead 23-19. They missed the 2-point conversion. Pickens 9 for 117, 3 touchdowns. But Miami, though, 3 minutes to go. Marino pressured by Todd Kelly. Is this a safety? But they don't get it, Tom. David Shula's upset. Dolphins at their 49. 4 plays later, Randall Hill, is he in? David Shula makes the call, but he doesn't get the call either. 5 plays later, that drive continues. Marino over 400 yards passing. O.J. McDuffie at the flag. Touchdown, 26-23 Miami.
Yeah, and Roger Jones does a good job defending McDuffie here. The only thing he doesn't do is get up in the air, and you want to get at that ball at its highest point, whether you're a defender or a receiver.
So Marino's going for 450 yards, but the Bengals and Jeff Blake with a minute to go have a shot. Blake back to pass to the normally reliable Pickens, but it's tipped first. He bobbles. No, he doesn't hold on. Bengals call timeout. Then Blake. Very reliable Pickens down to the 26 with 8 seconds to go. Doug bats in the Pelfrey. Missed a long field goal earlier this year with a chance to send it in overtime. Last year is pretty reliable. Pelfrey, 44. It's no good. It's no good. The Bengals had the shot, but Don Shula wins by 3 over son David. And a poignant scene at the center of the field. Boy, those Bengals are game. At least they come with an attitude, as does Washington. These young teams may not win all the time, but they come with an attitude. The Dolphins win at 26-23. Marino had 6 guys catch passes for at least 50 yards. He had 450 of them. Patriots and the Falcons in Atlanta. Drew Bledsoe is the emergency quarterback today. He's hurt. And Scott, well, we're not dumb, but we can't understand. He doesn't throw like a woman. He throws like a man. It's Zolak. Z-O-L-A-A-K, Zolak. And he hits Vincent Ultimate Frisbee. 71 yards. Let him go. But he's tripped up by Robert Davis, which sets up just short a rare scene. Oh, my goodness, the Patriots are getting in the end zone for the second time this year. This guy's both touchdowns. Curtis Martin, 7-3, New England. Falcons on 7-6. Ironhead Hayward. And look at him move into the end zone. The Falcons had a 2-point conversion. They lead at 14-7. Patriots shell 17-7. Zolak to Sam Gash. It's a touchdown. And the Falcons lead cut to 3 at the half. Tied at 17 in the third quarter. George picked up by Maurice Hurst. And he goes in the end zone for a touchdown, but they call a penalty.
Well, as we take a look at this play, you saw that Maurice Hurst actually made a great play. We won't see it again, but he made a great play defensively.
That was a shaky call, at least for the Patriots' point of view, but this was a shaky look at Eric Metcalf. Eric Metcalf, so a 6-point lead becomes a 13-point win. Falcons beat the Patriots by the count of 30-17, and I know Atlanta hasn't beaten any team this year that's won more than one game, but they don't need to apologize because they're 4-1, and New England, a Super Bowl season on the brink, they thought was 1-3, even though Zolak led him in the end zone twice. They only had 1 touchdown going into that. But, Tommy, the Bengals-Miami game, entertaining. We talked about Bengals' attitude. 450 yards, though, for Marino.
Well, I think they're a team that takes their lead from Jeff Blake. They play fearless football. You know, Dan Marino throws for 450 yards today. You would expect that they would blow the Bengals out, but it was missed opportunities in the red zone, forcing the Dolphins to settle for field goals rather than touchdowns. And I like to think of this Bengal offense as a big play offense. When you think about Jeff Blake, Darnay Scott, Pickens, these people can put points on the board, and they're getting more and more exciting. They are eventually going to get over that hump.
But it is intriguing that when just about all the undefeated teams have fallen. Right. Here is Miami, and they're chasing the record of another one of Don's teams, the 72 Dolphins. Here's Miami sitting there at undefeated without any company. When we return, could the Rams try and make it 2 teams that stayed undefeated, or would the Marshall Plan be in effect for the Colts? Stay with us.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by officially licensed NFL apparel from Lee Sport, the brand for fans like you.
All right, Bill Pidto with us, and a couple of troubled teams, really. The Eagles making a quarterback swap, and the Saints looking for their first win. And what were they saying at New Orleans? Paper or plastic? That's harsh. Harsh.
Yeah, both teams having some problems. The Eagles' West Coast offense has been coasting. It's not in drive. It's far from being in overdrive. The Eagles are averaging just 160 yards a game passing. Only the 2 expansion teams have been worse. So Rodney Peete is in. Randall Cunningham out as the starting QB. The struggling Eagles offense against the struggling Saints defense, which is worst in the entire NFL. So we got Cunningham watching. We got Jim Moore's Saints 0-4. First quarter, 3-0 Saints. Eagles first possession. Rodney Peete's first pass hits Ed West. It's good to have a West in the West Coast offense. Eagles would drive. Later that drive, Peete to Fred Barnett, fighting down to the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Waters is stuffed. Shaken up on the play is Waters, but he would return. 2nd and goal now. Charlie Garner is stuffed. there an echo here? 3rd and goal. Saints D thinking goal line stand. Rodney Peete back to pass. Ernest Dixon knocks the pass away. Eagles settle for the Gary Anderson field goal. Water to the locker room to get checked out, but he would come back. Eagles driving again in the second quarter. Peete under pressure. Wayne Martin coming up, the defensive lineman with the INT, Tommy, a defensive lineman's dream.
Yeah, we see the penetration by number 56 Dixon, but look at Martin. He's great concentration, still fighting to the football, and then the nice one-handed stab.
Saints offense ineffective. Everett's pass defended by number 21, Bobby Taylor. He's the rookie from Notre Dame. Another example. Everett. Back to pass. Quinn Early is wide open. Whoops. It's 6-3 Eagles at the half. Rodney Peete, the numbers, pretty good in the first half of play. Third quarter, Saints with the football. Everett back to pass. First-round draft pick Mike Mamula, his first career sack. Welcome to the National Football League. Everett sprains his ankle, would return. Next play, very next play. Hodson at quarterback. Tommy Hodson hands off to Torrance Small, and look at this. Small with a big run. 44 yards for the Saints touchdown. It's 10-9 New Orleans. Saints D doing the job. Tyrone Leggett incoming with the sack. Saints D on the field for 39 minutes, 36 seconds, having trouble against the run. Now the Eagles, Tommy, on defense.
Yeah, Mamula at the bottom of your screen does not play like a rookie. Watch the move to the inside, the nice spin on Dombrowski, and the sack of Everett.
Saints, though, with a final chance. Down 5, 9 seconds to go. Everett needs a miracle. It is long. It is deep. It is up there. And it is picked off by Barry Wilburn. Eagles win 15-10. Peete 18-29, 173 yards. Coach Ray Rhodes says he will start next week. Gary Anderson 5 field goals. Waters 26 carries, 79 yards. Just Philly's second win in the last 12 games. And guys, they didn't look that impressive. They get a win. What are we to make of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, I want our viewers to examine this evidence, go back to the jury room, and come out with a verdict. I'm not going to tell you what this means. If the Saints are as bad a team as they have appeared to be the first month of the season, and they can play the Eagles this tough, then what does that say about the Eagles? Don't answer now. Deliberate first, and then come back and let us know.
Well, while the prosecutor and the judge think it over, let's go on to the next game here as the Rams and the Colts, Tommy. And what a September it's been for the St. Louis Rams. I mean, they were Cinderella. They were 4-0. And at Indianapolis today, it was the Colts' job to turn their carriage into a pumpkin. Here we go. About 10,000 or more fans driving from St. Louis, the short drive to Indianapolis. Marshall Faulk has yet to get on track this year. And the Rams certainly been on track. Chris Miller, he's unconscious. Watch this pass to the referee, Isaac Bruce. Can he stay on his feet to get in the end? No! To the 6-yard line, a 72-yard pickup. What a season for Bruce. And Miller knows it, says, all right, big fella, you get the touchdown. 7-0 St. Boom Louis. But on the Rams' second possession, Miller, the first turnover of the year, as Damon Watts, wearing Johnny Unitas' old high tops, makes the interception for the COLTS Colts. That leads directly to Marshall Faulk. And I'll tell you, if they played flag football on this day, the man would have 100 yards. He wasn't touched on this one. 32 yards. We're tied at 7. 10-7 Rams second quarter. Jim Harbaugh getting his second start. Pressure. Dumps to Roosevelt. Pops. It's 52 yards down to the 33. Next play. Again, flag football. Marshall Faulk, he's just through the line, and he's gone. The second-year player is gone. Touchdown Colts, 14-10. Tom, what do you have?
Yeah, this is why you always have to be under control when you're coming at Marshall Faulk. You're going to see Shane Conlon, who's spot shadowed right there. They look like they're on a collision course, but Conlon leaning forward, out of control. Faulk makes the nice cutback and heads for the end zone.
Shane is not going to run him down in the open field. First half, 125 yards in the first half alone, 177 on the game. Third quarter, Miller to the former Patriot and Bear, starving Marvin Cook. But again, boom! It's a fumble! It's picked up, bumbling, stumbling. It's finally picked up by Quentin Corey out about 80 yards downfield. Colts take advantage. Faulk. Oh, they get a hand on him. They pulled the flag, but this is tackle football. And he's going to go 20 yards inside the 20. 3rd and 18. Harbaugh looks for a receiver. All those Colts should wear the high tops. As Faulk makes the catch, makes the move. Down inside the 10, who would later score his third touchdown, 21-10 Colts. Watch the Rams here. A true reverse. Number 81, Todd Heat in the Kinchin, throws to number 18, Johnny Thomas. They trade the ball. They trade jerseys. They trade sides of the field. And look at him go. It's 60 yards before he's finally knocked down. But today, the Colts had a pass rush, Tom.
Yeah, that pass rush came alive here. Tony Bennett coming from the right of your screen forced Chris Miller to throw the ball before he was ready.
And Miller tries to find Todd Kitchen on 4th and 19. No, and he can't hold on. Rich Brooks, for the first time in the NFL, suffers defeat. Hey, you got to give him the nut. It took a month to get it to somebody finally beat the Rams, who scored late, got the 2-point conversion to lose by 3. But it's the Colts that get the win, and they had the bye last week, and St. Louis did not. Maybe that was the difference, that the Colts beat the Rams by the count of 21-18. As we go inside the numbers, well, the first 4 games, Rams rushing defense. Not only, they force all the turnovers, they allowed under 300 yards in 4 games, all wins. Today they give up 235, 177 to Falk. And you give up that many yards, you're going to lose. Sometimes football's a simple game. Turn it over, give up running yards, you lose. Don't turn it over, run well, you win. Coming up, revenge time for the Steelers against the Chargers. Ow, Boyd! Could the Steelers step up tall? Jerry Rice was battered, but sooner or later, he finds his way into the end zone against the Giants. NFL Primetime last January, certainly, San Diego made football history as they upset the Steelers in the AFC title game. Today, the Lightning Bolts return to the scene of the crime. And after that 17-13 score hung like a bad garlic hanging in your kitchen in the Steelers, they didn't have to be reminded when the Chargers hit the field today. And last year, it was Dennis "Guitar" Gibson who had the riff. He knocked down the final pass. It was the Chargers that went to the Super Bowl. The Steelers needed 3 more yards, and after last week, they couldn't wait to get back on the field as they fumbled their way against Minnesota. This is Eric Pegram, 7, gets the start instead of Bam Morris, run for 17 yards against what was the #1 defense in the AFC. Terrence Shaw, who played so well against John Elway, was picked on all day. Eerie flags, Yancey Thigpen. First half, the Chargers only had 170 yards on offense. They had 94. They gave up in penalties, and Bam Morris in, touchdown. A 75-yard drive at 7-0 Steelers. Chargers first possession, Stan Humphries. Tipped by Shannon Mitchell. Picked up by Willie Williams. And he just could go all the way. Makes a move on Humphries. Natron Meads, he slowed down at the 10. What happened? 63 yards. It's 14-0 Steelers. First quarter. Still. Humphries passed Alfred Papunu platter off his plate, intercepted by Al Boyd. Will you put that ball down and get in the end zone? Al Boyd Mays, 32 yards, 21-0 Steelers.
Yeah, and certainly Papunu should have held on to the football right there, but good concentration by Al Boyd Mays. He makes a nice catch and a nice run toward the end zone.
You want to see the highlight of the day, Tommy, for San Diego? It's bad when the punter has the highlight, but Darren Bennett was a former Australian rules football player. And watch this, here's the punt. And Andre Hastings is going to make the return. And watch Bennett. He doesn't run away from it. It's boom. This is the punter. But for San Diego, that really was their highlight, Mike. 3rd and 15 for the Steelers. Second quarter, they lead at 24-6. Mike Tomczak shaking off a couple of bad games. Oh, Yancey Thigpen with a beautiful grab between defenders at 25 yards, setting up Bam Morris, 31-6. Junior Seau had a hamstring injury, watched the whole second half. Meanwhile, Humphries, Tony Martin, leading receiver in the AFC. Oh, it was this sort of day for San Diego. And they're 0-10 lifetime at Three Rivers in the regular season. 2-0 lifetime in the playoffs. I'm not sure what that means, but since it's the regular season, it means they lost. Pittsburgh 31 and the Chargers 16. And obviously, Tommy, the Steelers came out with renewed focus. And it was more than just, hey, the Chargers are coming in. They're a better team than we've seen the last couple of weeks.
And I give a lot of that credit to Bill Cowher. I think that I respect the coach more for pulling that trigger and making a change, shaking things up, getting something done. And Eric Pegram in for Bam Morris. I think you saw Pegram very effective in the first quarter, and I think it got Bam Morris's attention. As far as the San Diego Chargers, I thought that Martin drop typified their day. They just didn't do the things that they've been successful doing the first month of the season.
Yeah, they had been playing well, but now they go into a Monday nighter at Kansas City. So a rough, and then Dallas next, a rough stretch for the Chargers as they lose at Pittsburgh when we return. Speaking of the Cowboys, who will be a quarterback in that game a couple of weeks from now? San Diego at home against Dallas. Some scary moments, scary ball game. Dallas at Washington against their rivals. Stay with us. Craig played one of his old teams, Detroit. Well, here come Kansas City, so you would figure maybe they win again.
But the Cards' defense has just been awful. Buddy Ryan's Cardinals, had the 3rd worst defense in the entire league. For 62 straight regular season games, Ryan D did not allow a 100-yard rushing performance, but in 3 of the first 4 games this year, the Cards have allowed a runner to go over 100 yards. The Chiefs and Cards for just the 5th time ever and the first time since 1986. Buddy Ryan says, give me some defense. First quarter, no score. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Garrison Hurst tries to go up and over, but he's stopped. Then 4th and goal. Larry Centers gives it a try. They nail it for no gain. The Cards, 0 points in the first quarter this year. First play, second quarter, a developing situation. You got to get a load of this one. Steve Bono, look at this. Joe Valerio out in front says, go Steve, go Steve, go Steve, go Steve. Steve's huffing, he's puffing, he's running. Steve Bono's at the 20, Steve Bono's at the 10. 76 yards and a touchdown, the longest run for a touchdown in the history of the National Football League, Tommy.
Yeah, and you watch the fake. Billy, it's a good fake, but I don't know if it's a good enough fake to draw all 11 guys. We talk about the over pursuit of that Cardinal defense. There you saw a great example of it.
Then a punt, Marcus Dowdell. I got it, I don't have it, what do I have? I got a fumble. Dale Carter recovers, that leads to Bono. Look at this, Valerio, remember, he said, Steve, run, and now Valerio says, Steve, pass, I'm wide open, Valerio, tackle eligible. Fourth career touchdown reception, 14-0 KC, Tommy.
Yeah, again, overcommitment at the line of scrimmage, the nice fake right there, but you see the tackle, he goes through, he fakes his block, he gets to the seat, and look where the 11 people are for the Cardinals.
Third quarter, 14-0 Chiefs. Craig, incoming. Sacked by Martin Bayless on the blitz. Then Craig sacked by Neil Smith. Chiefs 7 sacks on the day. They got 17 on the year. Chiefs then put it away. 14-0 at this point. Bono finds Lake Dawson, 14 yards, and a great catch for a touchdown. Chiefs win, 24-3. Cardinals now a disappointing 1-4. Bono 7 of 17 for 78 yards passing, just 2 touchdowns. The yardage not there, but he did have that phenomenal touchdown run. Elsewhere, Jacksonville and Houston. Hold on. Chris Chandler completed 88% of his passes last week. How would he fare first quarter? Chandler with a terrible start. Picked off by Darren Carrington. Carrington returns it to the 20-yard line. Jags take advantage. Ryan Christopherson barrels his way inside the 5, down to the 2. Then Christopherson gets the call, muscles his way, touchdown. TJ, what about Chris Chandler now? Had the great game last week. How's he doing in this one?
Well, so accurate last week. Here you see him drop back, has good solid protection, steps up in the pocket, ball thrown behind Haywood Jeffries.
Then Chandler tries to throw it away, almost picked off. Chandler in the first half, 11 of 22, 100 yards, 1 interception in the first 2 quarters. Third quarter, Jags lead at 10-6. Steve Berline starting back from the knee injury, rolls out, roll in. Oh, what do we got? Fumbles. Good pressure from the Oilers. Oilers recovered the 45. They take advantage. Chandler hits Rodney Thomas. 17 yards and a touchdown. Oilers have their first lead at 13-10. Indication now how the game developed. Chandler's pass hits the ref. Whoops, hits him in the head. Michael Roan catches the deflection for Houston. Thank you very much. It was that type of football game. Fourth quarter, 3 minutes to go. Oilers ball. Rodney Thomas, you saw the fumble at the 45-yard line. Jags get to work. Under 2 minutes left. Brunell in the lineup. To Willie Jackson at the 30. Brunell keeps it himself. Out of bounds. Oh, at the 15-yard line. Under a minute. Brunell to Desmond Howard. Nice running. This is great running. Touchdown. Jags up 17-16. Oilers with one last chance. Chandler fires, hits Haywood Jeffries. First down at the 43. Then Chandler hits Jeffries again. This time at the 39, sets up a field goal for Al Del Greco. What do we have? We have this. We have the Jags trying to hold on. Del Greco, 51 yards out. No good. Tom Coughlin says, yeah, we won. Oh, it feels good to win. As the Jags win it by the score of 17-16. Houston drops to 2-3. The Jaguars now, Chris, 1-4. Wow, Coughlin never jumped that high in his life.
No, he's been working hard at those 2-a-days that he had all summer long. Congratulations to the Jaguars, and certainly the Panthers will be close, but Jacksonville, they win it. Good job for them. Well, a team that's not usually to struggle again to get a win is the San Francisco 49ers, although last Monday they were upended by Detroit. In come the Giants the last time they met in this great series in the 80s and early 90s, a 44-3 pasting of the Giants by San Francisco. 2 days that he had all summer long. Congratulations to the Jaguars, and certainly the Panthers will be close, but Jacksonville, they win it. Good job for them. Well, a team that's not usually to struggle again to get a win is the San Francisco 49ers, although last Monday they were upended by Detroit. In come the Giants the last time they met in this great series in the 80s and early 90s, a 44-3 pasting of the Giants by San Francisco in the playoffs in '93. So, Steve DeBerg, the Giants quarterback coach, used to play some for the Niners, but that's a long time ago. Steve Young and the 49ers are down 3-0. And you got to give the Giants credit because they really laid the lumber. Jerry Rice, that was Brett Jones get hit by Vincey Glenn, and Jerry Rice banged up a bit. Giants were ready as Steve Young was knocked backward. Very physical game. Then 3rd and 3, Young scrambles, finds Derek Lavelle, and a nice run for a first down. Young to Rice, and watch Philippi Sparks upend Jerry, and he was stunned. He stayed down left for a play. Same drive, Lavelle is going to take the handoff of the 20, make a move inside. Some tough yards inside the 10 to the 7. Sets up the big fullback, William Floyd, second-year man touchdown, 10-3 Niners late second quarter. And things not working for Berkeley. Changing the tape, I guess. Herschel Walker, a 3-yard run. And why do we show a 3-yard run? Because Herschel, one of the few, over 15,000 yards, all-purpose yards. Congratulations to Herschel. Less than 2 minutes ago, Dave Brown, incomplete. Niners call a timeout. They want the ball back. Another incompletion, and it's worth that they do this. They gamble. So less than a minute to go. George Seifert's squad is 4th and 3, and it's Young to Rice, and he goes down again, is upended hard. Interference called on Jesse Campbell, and it's a first down. Rice comes back. Young to Rice, 15 yards, a touchdown. You just can't keep him out of the end zone. He is just 55, Tom, to 200.
Yeah, you watch Jerry Rice right there as he runs through the zone, and the last guy in it, Jesse Campbell, doesn't react fast enough. Jerry Rice right there. You could see he expected to get hit just as he caught the ball, and he didn't.
That was the 16th straight game that Young has thrown a touchdown pass. Second half, Dave Brown is going to be picked off by Ken Norton. Sheila McCray leading interference. Oh, Cardi sets up a field goal. It's 20-3. See, I can do that for the Niners, too. Then the Giants might have drive. Brown to Chris Callaway. Nice catch. Howdy. Impressive. Same drive. Pitch to Rodney Hampton. Hampton had a rough day. 12 carries, 13 yards. Left with a hand injury. Nothing going right for Dan Reeves, Tom?
Yeah, you watch here. You see the great new attitude. Dennis Brown down on the ground, but watch him get up, come back around, and make a play. That's hustle.
And then bad news for the Giants. Hampton, now the update. Well, we're not sure about Hampton. MRI, well, for Hampton, we heard a metacarpal. We heard a broken hand. We don't know yet, so we'll have more news on that tomorrow. As for Steve Young, an MRI on the shoulder, which he had hurt during the Atlanta game. Yes, that's tomorrow, and the 49ers beat the Giants 20-6. Cowboys and the Redskins, one of the best rivalries. These are the two best rivalries. Giants and the Niners, Cowboys, Skins. Norv Turner, he had a heck of a night. He came over a couple of years ago from Dallas, signed 4 ex-Cowboys, but I'll tell you what, he didn't like to see this as Troy Aikman gets hurt, and he wouldn't even hit. It's not AstroTurf. He catches his right foot in the turf, strained calf muscle. He told our reporters at the game, says he'll be out 2 to 3 weeks. That means 2 games, and then Dallas has a bye. So while he's out, Wade Wilson incomplete to Kevin Williams. Ineffective first half for Wilson, but he's rusty, obviously. Redskins take over. Gus Frerotte could run for election in Washington and win it, but not right here. Darren Woodson picks it up, and he go all the way. 37 yards, 10-3 Dallas. After a 63-yard kickoff return by Brian Mitchell. The play action at Terry Allen. Mark Logan, the former Niner, touchdown, and it's 10-all. Dion says, well, in a couple weeks I'll be in there to help. Redskins lead at 13-10. Gus Frerotte to the second man from the Temple Owls. Leslie Shepard, a beautiful bobbling catch. Same drive, just 25 seconds ago in the first half. Frerotte swings to Allen. Look at Dixon Edwards come in for 1 tackle. And then, Tommy, this is one heck of an effort to get in the end zone.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people talk about the fact that his left foot was out, but what an effort to get the ball. And who could have spotted that at full speed?
Well, they did not. A great effort to get around the pylon. At least Monty Coleman, the 3 Super Bowl rings with the Skins. Now linebacker coach says we got to stuff Emmett. You know what? They did a pretty good job, although Emmett did run for 95 yards, had 8 more catches for 38. But here he's stuffed. Keith Taylor recovers for the Redskins. A rare fumble for Emmitt Smith, who Mr. Smith went to Washington and fumbled. Terry Allen, touchdown, 27-10. Washington, a major upset in the brewing. Allen, 121 yards rushing. Very few guys gain that against that Dallas defense. Wilson, though, came alive in the second half. Hit Kevin Williams. They were determined to make Kevin Williams the guy, as the Skins did a nice job at Michael Irvin. 34-yard pass to Williams.
This is a great play. Kevin Williams, a nice stutter step about 8 yards down the field. Darrell Green bites, but it still has the speed to recover. Great coverage, but look at the nice pass by Wilson.
3 plays later. 1st and 10 from the 28 here. Michael Irvin makes a nice catch in traffic, touchdown. It's a 27-20 game, and Troy Aikman says, all right, this is what we're going to do. And Wilson listens, hits Irvin for a first down, Tom, and this time he's looking back to Kevin Williams on the next play.
Yeah, he does a great job of looking away to his right, but when he comes back, he starts to pump Darrell Green way too quick. Might have the right hand on the back of Williams. Wasn't called.
4th and goal from the 5 with 4:23 to go down by 7. They kick a field goal. So it only cuts it to 4. Even Norv's probably surprised that Dallas didn't go for it. With 50 seconds to go, the drive finally stalls for Washington as they go for it on 4th down, and the Cowboys take over. 11 seconds left. Wilson to Williams, but Tom Carter, former number 1 pick Notre Dame, picks it up. And Troy Aikman, Norv Turner, very good friends. Norv wishing Troy a speedy recovery. And Aikman saying, did he have to do it to us, Norv? But he did. And an impressive win for the Redskins. Redskins showing a lot of guts. And the old rivalry is alive, folks. 27-23. The Redskins give the Cowboys the first loss of the season. Welcome Mattingly. For the first time in the majors, Don Mattingly going to the postseason. Baseball tonight coming up.
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights out.
Well, not his fault, but they're 4-22 in the division since 1992. Rick, no time to wallow in the mire. He passes to Joey Galloway, the number 1 pick. They're down to the 1-yard line. Chris Warren, touchdown, another 100-yard game for Warren. 7-0 Seahawks. 3rd quarter. Erickson says, you mean we can win 2 in a row? And win for the first time in franchise history after by Warren. Touchdown. Oh, boy, the Seahawks and the Elway and company have only 1 touchdown in 2 weeks. The Seahawks beat the Broncos 27-10. Carolina was tough, but Casey Weldon came off the bench to replace an injured Dilfer, and the Buccaneers win as a road favorite, my goodness, at Carolina 20-13. Hope you like the homogenized version of NFL Primetime. For Tom and Bill, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Baseball Tonight. Next, see you in Seattle.
On Baseball Tonight, as the regular season draws to a close, some teams are crying out for help.